Students, so today we're going to see about third lesson, yearly Tamil society and culture. Okay, so in these objects are about Tamil literary, archaeological, epigraphy and non-Tamil text sources for the study of the yearly Tamil society, Tinai based life in society, literature, polity, society, economic and administration during the period. So completely about our Tamil Nadu but ancient period. Okay, yearly Tamil society and culture. It's very easy only and you will understand easily. No need to worry about. Okay, let me start. So introduction. Tamil civilization, as we have seen, begins at least 3 centuries before Common Era. As seafaring people, Tamil traders and sailors established commercial and cultural links across the seas, and merchants from the foreign territories also visited the Tamil region. The resulting culture of the mercantile activities and internal development lead to the urbanization in the region. Towns and ports embraced coins, currency came to in circulation, 10 documents were produced. The Tamil Brahmi script were adopted to write the people Tamil language. Classical Tamil poems were composed. Okay, so we have more evidence actually based on the cultural writing evidence. We have written evidence. That's only we that also they used Tamil Brahmi script. So our traders are went maximum of all the areas. Sea for trading they went. Okay, we have the evidence from in our Tamil literature also. In some other language literature also we have the evidence about our Tamilians sea for trading. Okay, so let me see success for the study of yearly Tamil society. The sources for the study of the yearly Tamil. So about the Tamil society we want to know means what are the sources is there to learn about that. The sources for reconstructing the history of the ancient Tamils are classical Tamil literature, epigraphy, archaeological excavation and material culture, non-Tamil and foreign literature. Okay, these are all the main sources for learning about the Tamil society. The classical Sangam Tamil literature. The classical Sangam corrupts means collection, consists of Tolkappiyam. Actually, our old literature in our Tamil means Tolkappiyam only. Okay, first old, very old literature means Tolkappiyam only. The 11 Melkanakku, 18 major works and 11 Keelkanakku and the 5 epics. These are all the Tamil literatures. Tolkappiyam, 11 Melkanakku, 11 Keelkanakku and 5 epics. 5 epics means which are all? Silappatikaram, Manimekalai, Valayapati, Kundalakesi, Sivanthindramani. These are all the 5 epics which are available in our Tamil. Okay, and what is that? 18 major works. 11 Melkanakku, 11 Keelkanakku, then Tolkappiyam. By these all, we can get more information about the old Tamil society. Okay, then about Tolkappiyam, some words. Tolkappiyam attributed to Tolkappiyar. But it's not proved. But we are all assuming, our researchers are given the name for that author, for that Tolkappiyam. Author will be Tolkappiyar. Is the earliest written work on Tamil grammar. Apart from elaborating the rules of grammar, the third section of Tolkappiyam also describes poetic conversation that provide information on the Tamil social life. So what are all you are reading? The grammar of Tamil, no? And some of the rules is there for writing the Seyyul. Everything is available only in Tolkappiyam only. Based on that only, we are having all the grammars. Nowadays also we are reading which in the Tamil, no? Grammars. But all the things we are getting from Tolkappiyam only. Then text of 11 Melkanakku include 10 Pattu, 10 ideals and 8 Thogai, the 8 anthologies. These texts are the oldest among the classical Tamil texts. Texts are 11 Keelkanakku belonging to a later date. So what is that? 11 Keelkanakku, 11 Melkanakku. I told 2, no? So in that 11 Melkanakku, 10 ideals and 8 anthologies. So what are that means? The 8 Thogai or the 8 anthologies are Natrinai, Kurundagai, Paripadal, Paditru Pattu, Aingurunoru, Kalithogai, Agananuru, Purananuru. These are all the 8 What is that? 8 தொகை, 8 anthologies. Then 10 பாட்டு will be திருமுருகர் ஆற்றுப்படை, பொருணர் ஆற்றுப்படை, பெருபாணர் ஆற்றுப்படை, சிறுபாணர் ஆற்றுப்படை, முல்லைப்பாட்டு, நெடுநல் வாடை, மதுரை காஞ்சி, குறிஞ்சிப்பாட்டு, பட்டினப்பாலை, மலைப்படுகடா. So this 10, it will be called as a 10 பாட்டு. So these 10 ideals and these 8 anthologies all will be called as what is that? 11 மேற்கணக்கு. Okay, it's very important, very important. It will be used not only in this lesson alone, it's a very basic thing of the Tamil. Okay, very basic things of the Tamil. So memory this 18. Already you read or not, I don't know, in 8th or 7th, but now just you have the data, so read it. Tell the 11 மேற்கணக்கு means all the 18 you want to tell. Okay, it's very important, not for this class alone, in future for competitive exam also it will be very useful, so check it. Then 11 கீழ்கணக்கு. 11 கீழ்கணக்கு comprise 18 texts elaborating on the ethics and morals. The preeminent work among these is the Tirukkural composed by Thiruvalluvar. So in this 11 கீழ்கணக்கு only we have the Tirukkural. So Tirukkural is coming under 11 கீழ்கணக்கு, not in 11 மேற்கணக்கு. So in 1330 couplets, Tirukkural consider questions of morality, statecraft and love. So everything is there. Arayil is there, Arasil is there, Induviyal is there. In that, what is the Tirukkural? That only mortality, statecraft and love actually. So 1330 couplets. Couplets means what? It will be in 2 lines only. Maximum 1.5 line only. But they are telling couplets. So 2 lines. Every Tirukkural having 2 lines only, no? That only they are mentioning here. How many is there? 1330. Then just a minute. Yeah. Then 5 epics. The epics are காப்பியம்ஸ் or long narrative poem, very very high quality. They are சிலப்பதிகாரம், மணிமேகலை, சீவக சிந்தாமணி, வளையாபதி, குண்டலகேசி. Very important part. 5 epic. இரட்டை காப்பியம் is there. Which one? சிலப்பதிகாரம் and மணிமேகலை is a இரட்டை காப்பியம். Baudha Kapiyam we will tell which one. Manimegalai will be called as a Baudha Kapiyam. In Silappatikaram, who is the leading character? Kannagi. In Manimegalai is a leading character. Okay, so it's all very important. 5 epics, 11 மேற்கணக்கு, 11 கீழ்கணக்கு, தொல்காப்பியம். About this data, just get it. Then epigraphy. Epigraphy is a study of inscription. So from that we are getting more information about the old Tamil society. Inscriptions are the documents scripted on the stone, copper plates and other media such as coins, rings, etc. The development of the script marks the beginning of the historical period. So from that inscription we are getting more data. Not only the inscriptions will be on stone and the copper plates and some other coins, rings here all. By that we are getting more information. Then Tamil Brahmi inscription. It's one of the language which used in the old Tamil society. Tamil Brahmi inscription have been found in more than 30 sites in Tamil Nadu, mostly on the cave surface, on the rock shelters. Okay, in the cave and the most of the rocks, most available in the south Tamil Nadu, near to Madurai. These caves were abodes of the monks, mostly Jain monks. The natural caves were converted into the residence by cutting the drip line to keep rainwater away from the cave. So maximum that kind of caves are used by monks alone. Monks, Jains, these people are. So that maximum it's all, what is the natural caves only. They not prepared any caves. It's a natural caves. That natural cave was converted as a residence for that particular monks and the Buddhist people. They converted as a residence place. And they make that comfort, make some arrangements for what is it? For getting away of the rainwater, making the bed actually. Inscription often occur below such drip lines. The sites have smooth stone beds, so that's what I told, no? Beds, smooth stone beds carved on the rock surface for the monks who led the simple life and lived in this shelter. They will not use any things for sleeping actually. Nowadays we are using some wages, no? So that all they will not use. Just they will lay down on the stone. That stone will be somewhat smooth. merchants and kings. These natural formations are habitation of the monks. But that habit was slightly changed at the time of merchant and kings, for a monks who had renounced widely life. Mangulam, Mattupatti, Pugalur, Arachalur, Kongar Puliyangulam, and Jambai are some of the major sites of such caves, Tamil Brahmi inscription around the Madurai. Around Madurai, many such caves with the Tamil Brahmi inscription can still be seen. Many of them are located along the ancient trade routes. The next one. You will notice that among that old inscription, people have marked the names, thereby destroying some of the ancient inscription. Such acts of destruction of heritage property belonging to others are called vandalism. What is that? You will notice that among the old inscription, people have marked their names, thereby destroying some of the ancient inscription. Such acts of destruction of the heritage property or property belonging to their others are called vandalism. What is a vandalism? Which we are destroying other property, no? That will be called as a vandalism. Okay, so much of things happening. In Sri Lanka, they destroyed so much of the evidence of our Tamil languages and Tamil people, Tamil culture's evidence once upon a time. Okay, so that all will be called as a vandalism. The next one. The next page. So these are all the pictures. See, beds is there. Some other copy of inscription is there. Okay. So next one about hero stone. Hero stone or memorials erected that those. Normally hero stone means war. On the olden days, in a war, the people died means far after burying them on that place or some other place, they will fix one stone actually. Okay, yeah, on that stone they will inscribe the name of the person, reason for the death, everything will be there. That will be called as hero stones. These stones will be maximum used for overall dying, got death in the war. Okay, so hero stones are memorials erected for those who lost their lives in the battles and in the cattle raids, as cattle was considered as an important source of the wealth. So war, cattle raids, it all was happened. Riding cattle owned by the adjoining tribes and the clans was a common practice in a pastoral society. What is that? Adjoining the tribes, extending their particular area, catching some other place of the tribes, it all was happened. During the Sangam age, the Mullai landscape followed the pastoral way of life. Pastoral means what? Cattle rearing, agriculture, everything will be there. Purinji, Mullai, Mardam, Nedal, we have no, the same. Tribal chieftains plundered the cattle wealth and enemies whose warriors fought to protect their cattle. So, the people, they are protecting their cattle, their agriculture from the other people. That also one type of war. Or the group of people went to some other tribe people place and getting one in that particular war. That all will be considered. And in that war they died means they will use the hero stone. Many warriors died in such battles and were remembered as a martyrs. The memorial stones were erected in their honor. Sangam literature vividly portrays these battles and clashes and describes such hero stones as the objects of the worship. And later, that people they prayed as a god especially. Tulkapiyam describes the procedures for erecting the hero stone. So this detail we are getting from the Tulkapiyam. About the hero stones, we have more detail in the Tulkapiyam. Actually, we are all having the some of the gods is there, no? Like a Muniswaran or something. Maximum it will all will be in the outer of the village or starting place of the village. Okay. Actually, some research is telling they are all our forefathers. Slightly converted as now, they are all become as a god. Okay. Hero stones of the Sangam age with Tamil Brahmi inscription can be found at the Puliyam Mumbai, Tadapati in Theni district, Porpanai Kotai in Pudukkottai district. Those of the Sangam age is discovered till now do not have images or sculptures. Okay. Then Puliyam Mumbai hero stone. Some of the evidence is Puliyam Mumbai is a village of Vaigai River Valley in Theni district. In 2006, rare hero stone inscriptions in Tamil Brahmin script were discovered in this village. One of the inscriptions from the Puliman Kombe reads Kodalur Akol Pedu Tian Attavan Kal. It means the stone of a Tian Antavan who killed in the cattle raid at the village of Kodalur. See, the language is Tamil only, but it's different. Cattle raid at the village of Kodalur. Okay. Then inscriptions and about some of the detail of the hero stone. Hero stones are the post Sangam age and the Pallava period occurred in the large number of pastoral regions, especially around the Chengam region near Tirunelveli district. These hero stones have inscriptions and images of the warriors and names of heroes. Some of the hero stones of the Pallava period we are getting near to the Chengam near in Tirunelveli district. Okay, those people who all died in the war. Okay, then about the inscription, pottery vessels from the early historic period have names of people engraved on them in Tamil Brahmi script. Posters have been discovered in Arikamedu, Alagankulam, Kodumanal, Kidadi and many other sites in Tamil Nadu. Pottery in the inscription with the inscription not only in the rock, we have on the pot also. So pottery inscript with the names in a Tamil Brahmi script have also been founded in the Bernic and a Khusral Qadim in Egypt and in a Korori in a Oman, indicating that early Tamils had trade contacts with the West Asia. Some of these inscriptions we are getting in Iraq, Kuwait and some other places also. That evidence is showing what is that people went there for doing business or visit that place, maximum for business only. Up to Red Sea coast. Okay, people attached their names on pottery to indicate the ownership. Many of the names in Tamil while some are in Prakrit. Maximum where in the inscription is available, the name is there on the part. Maximum in Tamil languages only, but some of the things they used to write Prakrit language. Then Prakrit was a language used by the common people in the northern part of the India during the Mauryan period. So what is that? It's a language used in the northern part of the India during the time of Mauryan period. So that will be Prakrit language. Archaeological site. Archaeological excavation refer to the systematic digging of the site to recover the material evidence and exploring the interpreting society of the past. About the past we want to know means we want to dig. Then only we can get more evidence. Archaeological excavation at the early historic sites are the source of the evidence of the activities of the Sangam age people. Excavation at Arikamedu, Alagankulam, Urayur, Kanjipuram, Kaveri Pumbadinam, Korkai, Vasavasamudaram, Kidadi, Kodumanal, Tamil Nadu and Pattanam in Kerala provide evidence. We have this period. Okay, here all we are having evidence from. The Arikamedu near Puducherry in Sangam age port excavated by the archaeological survey of the port itself excavated. British archaeological site Robert Eric Molenweer, French archaeologist J.M. Castle, Indian archaeologist A. Ghosh and Krishnadev excavated this site. They found the evidence in here of a plant town, warehouses, streets, tanks and ring wells. So we are having more evidence founded by our archaeological site. By using that only we are getting to know about our old Tamil society. And next one, Archaeological Survey of India is a central government agency that manages archaeological sites and monuments in India. The government of Tamil Nadu has its own department of archaeology called the Tamil Nadu State Department of Archaeological. So central means what is that? Archaeological sites and monuments in India. The government of Tamil Nadu has its own department for archaeological called in Tamil Nadu State Department of Archaeology. The Indian Treasurer Trove Act 1878, the Antiquities and Art Treasurers, it's all Treasurer Act name 1972. The ancient monuments and archaeological sites and remains 1958 are the legalization related to the preservation of the archaeological remains in India. So which all we are getting from the earth, no, but all will be belongs to government only. We can't we not having any rights on that particular property. For that only these are all the laws they created. Okay. So material culture, we are getting some of the materials. By that we are getting some information. Archaeologists have found in evidence of the brick structure and industrial activities as well as artifacts such as beads, bangles, cameos, integalias, and other materials in these sites. Tamil Brahmi inscription and pottery and coins also have been unearthed. Evidence of the various arts, crafts and industries together help us reconstruct the way of life of the people of those times. From this we learn and understand how they might have lived. So what is that? More brick structure is there. Industrial activities also is there. We are having some evidence. Some of the ornaments they used, what is that? Bangles, beads, okay, everything they used. For inscription on the pottery, coins we have on the inscription will be on pottery also and the coins also. Okay, so these are all the material evidence of the culture of the people in olden days. Okay, cameo means what is that? An ornament made in a precious stone where images are carved on the surface. Okay, it's one type of stone part. That's it. One of the stone. By using that stone, they prepared one ornament. Integalio, an ornament which images are carved as recesses below the surface. Okay, on the ornament, images will be there. That will be called as a integalio. So that kind of ornaments are prepared. Okay, so enough today. We will wind up to this. So check the video properly. Send the homeworks on time. So most of the students are not seeing the video. Check the videos. Send the homework properly. Okay. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you.